Hey guys, today's video is on the skill of julienne and how to julienne a carrot. Now, the things that you need is obviously your green chopping board, okay, because green is for vegetables. We're going to use our cook's knife, and we will have a carrot, but you need to cut your carrot into some shorter sections. Now, the dimensions for a julienne is about 3 mil by 3 mil by 40 mil. Sometimes, or some people will say it can be a 2 mil by 2 mil by 40 mil, but we're going to go with 3 mil by 3 mil by 40 mil. Generally it's the size of a matchstick, okay? Or another way to remember it might be that in the word julienne there's L, which means little or could stand for little, and therefore the julienne cut is the little cut, so it's the matchstick cut. So with julienning a carrot, what you need to do is turn your carrot away from you. Then you're going to cut your little bit of carrot into a rectangle essentially, or into a prism. First thing, however, what you need to do is make sure it's about 40 mil. So I'm just going to chop mine off a little bit just to trim it. Go into your scrap bowl. Then remember your knife grip. You're going to cut down one side. Now the reason why we cut down one side is because we want a flat surface. Now this is going to hold our carrot so it's secure. There's nothing worse than trying to cut a carrot when it's rolling around the board. So you need a flat surface to put your carrot onto. Next thing you're going to do is cut another side, and you're going to keep doing that until you get your rectangular prism. Now, it's a good thing to hold on to these scraps of carrot that you have, because what you could do with these in hospitality is use them up in a soup or in a stock. We don't waste things, okay? We use these things for something, we reuse them in food. But in your scenario, what I will get you to do is actually, with these leftover bits of carrot, just trim them up to about a julienne size, just so we're not wasting them and having to throw them in the bin. So I'll do my last side. So you can see now I have a lovely little rectangle. So the next thing you need to do is turn the rectangle away from you, and you're going to make about 2 to 3 mil cuts down your carrot. Now, when you're doing this, don't worry about going fast like you see on the TV shows. What's really important is that you get the skill, okay? So what you can do is stack these on top of each other, but for your first one, till you get the size, what I get you to do is just start with one, and you're going to chop across. Keeping your fingers out of the way, and then you get these beautiful, lovely little matchsticks. Once you get a bit more confident, then what you can do is stack them on top of each other, line them up with the blade of your knife. Now you're going to have to, if you do this, you're going to have to hold onto them extremely firmly. Hold down, and bring it a little bit closer to you. Now with this part of your knife, with your tip on the board, you're going to chop your julienne. And then what you will end up with is a beautiful, lovely julienne. I'll just quickly show you how to julienne a cucumber as well, just because it's a little bit tricky because the cucumber is quite slimy. Okay, so when we're julienning a capsicum is a little bit more tricky. The most important thing is to square your capsicum off first. So again, we are wasting a little bit, but we can use those scraps in different dishes. So you want your dimensions to begin with. So remember, it's a 40 mil. So I'm just going to trim mine a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is just cut off this little white bit here. Now you might like to use your paring knife for this. Now there are two ways you can do it. You can either just slice really finely. What I like to do with capsicum is cut the capsicum in half. Now this requires a lot of knife control, and if you're not confident to do this, I would recommend that you just slice it. But what you need to do is essentially, we want to cut our capsicum in half. So the way that we're going to do that is hold it really firmly. You have to hold it firmly with your left hand, gripping it down. You're going to get your knife and you're actually going to try and slice really evenly at a 90-degree angle all the way across. Now, as I said, it's a little bit dangerous and it does require a little bit of skill. Okay, but what you will end up with is two little bits like this, and that just gives us a better thickness for a julienne. So we pop those back on each other again, and now just as you did for the carrot and for the cucumber, you're just going to slice across. Remember, it's okay to take your time. You don't need to be amazing at knife skills just yet. Okay, and then you'll end up with a lovely julienne of capsicum. Now, if you want to go thinner again, you're going to have to cut your layers into 3, but that will give you a nice thin cut of capsicum.